Hello, everyone. Welcome this morning to the Fission Uranium live presentation at Red Cloud. Today, joining me, I have a couple of individuals for the company, Dev Randhawa and Ray Chung, along with some of the other corporate people. I'm just about to put up the presentation on the screen, and I'm going to let Dev get going with the presentation.
Sure. Thanks, Bruce. Well, look, while you're throwing it up, I would just throw up page 11, the whole area first, if you
Certainly.
Thanks.
There you go.
Well, first of all, thanks, Bruce, for having us. And as you know, we've had a bear market for a long time, so it's just a pleasure to be able to talk about some of the things our technical team's been doing in the bear market. And to back up a little bit, I think we should obviously kiss the ring of Peter Groskopf for buying all this uranium and almost a couple $1 billion worth to cause this to wake up the world to what we've always known, which is you can't meet our ESG targets without what we're doing with nuclear. But during these dark times, we used our time well. We were out acquiring land in all parts of the basin. If you look at this page, you'll see that we've got 18 projects. Now, we didn't just randomly pick these projects. We picked them on the basis of discoveries already made. Those who've been in the business for a while know there was always one model people believed in, which was found Cigar Lake and MacArthur. And that was, we've got to have some sandstone and have some basement rock, and it's going to be at that point of contrast, unconformity. There was a time when people said, that's all you can look for. And two, there's no more deposits left on the west side of the basin. And you've got to be in the basin. As you know, now history has shown us that wasn't true. That model wasn't the only way. In fact, Arrow and PLS, Triple R project, are actually basement hosted and actually not almost right on the border. What we believed was that there were more deposits left outside the basin, because what we call the basin today wasn't the basin before, as the glaciers retreated. So our strategy of projects wasn't just to randomly throw darts, is that we flew the airplane, the whole rim. The airplane that found the boulders on Triple R, we flew very close to the ground, act like a kind counter, and we were able to detect boulders. And that's how these projects, all 18 of them, were acquired. We own 18 of them without any royalties. We staked them ourselves in a bear market. And we've got some pretty good results, as we mentioned yesterday, on PLN, which is really close to, PLS and the Arrow. We had higher results than anybody's put out so far. But nobody cares in the bear market, but suddenly people care. So these projects require astutely and based on a track record of looking for boulders or outcrops. And we have literally, for the last several years, back to 2013, last 8 years, looking for those kind of deposits. So around us, so everything there's a reason why we have all 18 of them. And I'm very proud of our team that we were able to do it when nobody was looking. So the other thing I want to point out is that why people say Fission 3.0. I see people, we are going to be drilling 3 properties this winter, and maybe more, depending on how many joint ventures we have. We're very asset rich, and we like to use Rick Rule's model, which is your brain, your property, other people's money. And we've got a number of them ready. So you will see us drilling. The thing is, I see a lot of what's happening in the industry. Those who've been at it for a while also know there used to be like 5 uranium companies in 2005. I went on the road with all of them. There was 985 by the time it was done. So you'll see this, but the question is, who's found deposits before? Well, Ray actually is part of the team that found Waterbury with Ross, which is an unconformity deposit, and they found Triple R. So these projects, just remember, were acquired by us in a bear market, own 100%. We're asset rich, and we got people who've actually found uranium before. Not, there are groups out there for 10 years haven't found it, but these guys have found too. If we go to just take a look at one of the project number, the next page, 12, the PLS area projects there, and you can see how many amazing deposits are forming, how many people are there. And so one of our highlights will be Patterson Lake North. It's a very large land package, as you can see. And there are a number of conductors. In fact, it's so large, we spent almost 9 million of our own money flying the area, narrowing down the conductors, and we put some holes down. There's certainly, an example, on A1 conductor, we put out those results yesterday that people forget. It was 7.5 meters of 1,500 counts per second. So we know there's smoke there, and we want to attack it. And you'll see us do that. Plus on Chimney as well. There's 2-3 areas in there that you'll see us very much, hey, we've got to go back in there. And then also, if we go to, we don't have a lot of time, but let's jump to Hardy Bay on page 17. Hardy Bay, if there was anything that looks like PLS, this is our shot. The reason is that island, which I can't point to if I would normally, is we found boulders on there. But Chemical, when they drilled, they didn't see sandstone on land or other parts, so they kept drilling where they had to have sandstone because they're so addicted to that model. You've got to have sandstone. Well, we don't. In fact, we don't want to see it. So our model is entirely different. But those are nice fat boulders running 8%. They're small, but still we know there's uranium somewhere. So we believe, as you see those arrows, how they shifted. So we're going up there to drill. Whether we have a joint venture partner or not, we have 8 drill holes going in. And that's the crazy part about this project. It costs virtually $100,000 a hole, whereas if you go other parts of the basin, it costs you $200,000 a hole, maybe $300,000 a hole. So owning projects that are close to surface are very key. So that's another one which we intend to drill very much, because it's got boulders. We get a better idea after PLS how to chase boulders up ice and see where we go. So that would be definitely, and not to make you go backward, Bruce, but if we look at Lazy Edward chart 15, that's another project we'd be putting hopefully $1 million, $1.5 million into. Now we have enough money to drill PLN, Lazy Edward, and Hardy Bay. These are 3 projects. Now we got 18, so we'd love to drill them all, but we just don't have that kind of capital, or we would dilute our shareholders. So again, Lazy Edward, it's in the right area. The advantage obviously here is you're near mills, infrastructure, but more importantly, look at all the people around you, whether you got the Key Lake mine and a number of other players in the area. And you can see some of the results we've had, like Ross McElroy. I can still, the guy who turned our company around, he's always said, he says, sometimes you drill not to find a deposit, but to understand the chemistry of the land. And that's what we plan to do with these holes. So those are our 3 major projects, Bruce. And we have 18, we're asset rich, we have cash. And we've got a team that's actually found. So I guess that's the real message I want to get across is, and at the end of it all, why do investors want to be, major jump again, sorry, Bruce. Why are we doing all this? Page 8. If you look at page 8, look, I get it. People are out there staking old deposits or buying deposits, or they didn't make it in the last run, but who knows, maybe this run. But look what happens, you make a discovery. Look, these are 2 stocks where in the last while, so I'm not biased. I'm using NextGen and ISO. And look what the stocks did on the discovery. So I get it. People are going to own a Chemical, and they're going to own some Denison, NextGen, Fission. I get all that, and some stuff, overseas. But I think everybody should have a discovery stock possible in it. And we've got 18 properties, own 100%, a great technical team. And if we make a discovery, that's the kind of move you can get on the stock. I don't know, Bruce. That's can't hear you, Bruce.
Deb, one of the things I would definitely highlight, because I think in a sea of smaller cap, early stage discovery ones, I really do think Fission 3 stands out. And I think it's your history of the Fission team, the original Fission team, making the big discovery, and then taking the exploration properties at an early stage, using that newer technique,
Sure.
and basically endowing this Fission 3.0 company with an unprecedented suite of exploration properties.
Right.
I think that is the real story. The other
Yeah.
part of it being your technical team is still intact with the
Right.
two companies. Your access to drilling capability and on the ground explorationists who
Okay.
know the uranium field.
Right.
Maybe speak to a little bit of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I started into it when I said, why we call ourselves Fission 3.0. And I should have said why. you know, because, made a discovery, sold it, moved on, took another chunk of we kept splitting them, butterflying these companies. But the technical team has stayed together. Ray, Ross, we're all together as a group, although in different forms, but we still have the technical people together, which is, in a bear market was hard.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And so the plan for the winter drilling season, I know we recently helped you guys do a financing. The winter drilling season, the focus is going to be on the three projects that you suggested, right?
Yeah. Now, what we'll simply do is if we get a joint venture partner and there's a group, our friend Jason Meyer sent over, that's pretty strong. They're actually thinking taking both of number 2 and number 3. If that's the case, if that deals get signed, we may have to sit down and figure out how much more money to spend on PLN. But absolutely, we're going to get ready for drilling on the others. All the money will be spent on more, but there is a group with quite a bit of money in the bank who wanted to crack at both Lazy Edward and Hardy Bay. A friend of Jason Myers. You probably know the guy, better not say right now.
No, probably best not to, Dev. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
every day there's 3 joint venture phone calls, man, at least.
Well, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Dev, we want to thank you and thank your group for being on the call this morning, getting us kicked off in our second day. And thanks everyone for attending.